Guys, we're back with Nick. I said we're working Nick into the show. Nick, I'm over here, buddy. Nick is hanging on. He's hanging in there. He loves to eat. I got to tell you that. Anyway, guys, what I want to talk about today, and I just come up with these ideas, but I think where people go wrong with training is again, their goal and their strategy are not even in the same ballpark. So I think what you guys need to kind of keep in your head is that you need to work within the framework you've already got. So you've got to create the little frame. That's what I'm talking about. The harnessing the momentum, getting them to come back to you and all that. But you've got to work within that framework. And this is how I want you guys to think of it. If it was a house, I see people tending to work, everything they're working on is the dog is right by them. Or they're working on things that really don't have the best practical application, like remote sits and stuff. I mean, there's this one guy, I know you guys aren't even going to believe me, but this guy, Summer's going to roll her eyes when I tell her this, makes the dog sit outside his house by a street. That'd be like us making him, and then goes back in his house and goes up on the second floor and looks out the window and says, look, it's still staying there. Where in God's name, if I told you to do that, Summer, I need you to go make the dog stay out there by the road and come in the house, I'd expect you to say,
for what?
I got a vacuum now. Because that has no importance whatsoever. You know what I mean? So, but, you guys, so if it was a house, if we built the framework of a house, obviously, and that's how you guys need to think about the dog training. There's a lot of little areas we got to work on. The plumbing, we got to work on the electrical and all that. So you're working within the framework and understanding what is the most important. Obviously, so the framework, and that's how I want you guys to think of it. The framework is, and I'll do the little drawing thing. If we've got the framework, so this is our framework, there's nothing in here. There's nothing in here. We're in here. So there's nothing in here. But we're in here. Talbot's in here. We're in here. The dog is in here. And so we want to work in this area. We don't want everything to happen, and this is where you come into method failure. You don't want everything to happen in the kitchen. You know what I mean? You've got to work within this framework, decide what's important, decide an order of importance, you know what I mean, and have things that are actionable. If our order of importance is a dog that always runs out the door, I'm going to tell you what I would work on, not a dog that sits by the door. I would work on a dog that could be continually and repeatedly called back from going out the door, so that an open door, again, is now coming within our framework, so we can control the dog within this framework loosely. Magic marker eater. But we're not getting the dog right here and trying to control it right here. You can loosely control it within this framework. We cannot precisely control it right there at this point. So we're working within the framework that we have, and then we're building and building. And I want you to think of it down, to yes, it's going to boil down to the devil's in the details. But there's no details in the beginning. In the beginning, this is like with Layla. I've got a little bit of a framework. I can make her come to me, and now I'm starting to add the down thing. So I've got a little bit going on in here, but I've created my framework. And again, it's not like the dog's going for a Schutzhund 3. One day they'll put these in the e-collar museum I'm building over there in my shed. Yeah. Bye, girl.